Good morning, Alex. Today we're going to learn about the past perfect tense. Do you know what that is?
Good morning, sir. I think I have heard of it, but I'm not sure how it works.
No problem. The past perfect tense is used to talk about an action that happened before another action in the past. We use it to show which action happened first. Does that make sense?
I think so. Could you give me an example?
Of course. Imagine you came to school at 8 a.m., but I arrived earlier at 7:30 a.m. So I could say, when Alex came to school, I had already arrived.
Oh, I see. So, the action that happened first is in the past perfect, and the action that happened later is in the past simple?
Exactly. We use the past simple for the later action and the past perfect for the earlier action. In my example, I had arrived is in the past perfect, and you came is in the past simple.
Got it. So, how do we form the past perfect tense?
Good question. The structure is simple. We use had plus the past participle of the verb. For example, I had eaten, she had gone, they had finished.
Ah, so had is always the same, right? It doesn't change for he, she, or they?
Exactly. Had stays the same for all subjects. I, you, he, she, we, they. Then you just add the past participle of the verb.
That sounds easy enough. What about negative sentences?
In negative sentences, we simply add not after had. So, I had not finished my homework, or they had not eaten dinner.
I see. And what about questions? How do we ask questions in the past perfect tense?
Good point. To form questions, we put had at the beginning of the sentence. For example, had you finished your homework? Or had they arrived before the movie started?
That makes sense. So, it's just like making questions in other tenses, but with had.
Exactly. It follows the same pattern as other tenses. Let's practice with a few examples. If I say, the train left at 9 a.m., but John arrived at 9:15 a.m., can you make a sentence using the past perfect?
When John arrived, the train had already left.
Perfect. You've got it. Now let's try a negative sentence. She wanted to buy a book, but the store was closed.
Let me think. She had not bought the book because the store was closed.
Great job! You used the past perfect correctly. You're starting to get the hang of it.
Thanks. But when should I use the past perfect instead of just the past simple? Sometimes it's confusing.
That's a great question. The past perfect is mostly used when you want to emphasize that one action happened before another in the past. If the order of events is clear, you might not need the past perfect. For example, in a story, if the sequence is obvious, you can just use the past simple.
So, it's more about showing the order of events when it's not clear?
Exactly. If the order is important or if it's not clear, use the past perfect. But if the sequence is obvious, you can stick with the past simple.
I see. Can we practice a few more sentences?
Of course! Let's try this. By the time the movie started, we finish our dinner. How would you complete that sentence?
By the time the movie started, we had finished our dinner.
Excellent. Now try this one. They leave the party before I arrived.
They had left the party before I arrived.
Well done. You're really getting the hang of it.
Thanks. I think I'm starting to understand it better. So, the past perfect is for things that happened before another event in the past, right?
That's right. And just remember the structure. Had plus past participle. It's really useful when telling stories or describing past events in detail.
This is helpful. But can the past perfect be used with time expressions like before or after?
Absolutely. In fact, using time expressions like before and after often makes the past perfect tense unnecessary because the order is already clear. For example, she left after I arrived does not need the past perfect because after shows the sequence.
Oh, I see. So, in that case, I could just use the past simple for both actions?
Exactly. But if you wanted to emphasize that one action was completed before the other, you could still use the past perfect. It depends on what you want to highlight.
This is making more sense now. Could you give me a few more examples?
Sure. Let's say, the teacher asked if we do our homework. How would you complete that?
The teacher asked if we had done our homework.
Great. Now try this one. After he finished the race, he felt very tired.
After he had finished the race, he felt very tired.
Exactly. You're doing really well, Alex.
Thanks, sir. I feel more confident with the past perfect tense now. I just need to practice more.
That's the key. The more you practice, the easier it will become. Keep working on it and you will master it in no time.
I will. Thank you for explaining it so clearly.
You're welcome. Keep up the good work. Let me know if you have any more questions about the past perfect tense.
I will, sir. Thanks again.
You're welcome, Alex. Have a great day.